Same thing. I used to have terrible, terrible nightmares. I mean, horrible. I remember the first dream that I ever took control of. Horrible dream, right? I can remember. You know what? And what's freaky about this is I don't know if you ever have these dreams where you kind of start in the middle. So you're like, for me in this case, I was this soldier and I was with this group of guys. And I knew them. There was this familiarity. Like, I knew exactly who these people were.
So weird.
And then you wake up and you're like, man, I still, that same kinship that you felt, you still feel. We're on this island. I'll spare you all the terrible details, but essentially there's this thing that's trying to get me. And there's this, like, almost like a hurricane fence kind of. It's like a narrow industrial area. And there's like this hurricane fence going up on either side so I can climb. So I'm climbing and this thing grabs my leg and it's trying to pull me back down. And I look down at it and I'm like, hold on, wait. This isn't real. And I kid you not, in my dream, this console command comes down because I play a bunch of video games. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm going to cheat.
Your UI
right?
becomes activated.
So that's what I do.
It becomes a video game.
But now I'm wide awake. The kicker is, every time that's happened to me after that time, when I actually wake up, I have massive headaches. Massive headaches every time.
I haven't had that.
It's super weird. When I was in high school, we were really big into looking into like astral projection and lucid dreaming and all of this. And one of the things they'll teach you to do is, you lay down in a dim room or dark room and you listen to your heartbeat. And that's all you do is focus on your heartbeat. So it's actually kind of dangerous from what I understand because you can mess with your heartbeat when you do something like that.
If you do too much of that. Like if you, even with a baby, like you hold a baby or whatever and you hold him and you snuggle him and stuff, you can synchronize your heartbeats.
It's crazy.
So yeah.
That's, we did some of that stuff and maybe that was part of the whole metal group because that's who my buddies at the time were, and they were all into doing this kind of stuff. And about 2-3 years ago, I ran across remote viewing, and I was doing all this research into it, just trying to see what the CIA had done and what they found and all this cool stuff. And I run across this guy that says, "Yeah, there's no mysticism to it or anything." He said, "It's really simple." He said, I have a picture, and it's folded up, and it's in my pocket. And he said, I want you to think about this picture in my pocket. Close your eyes, lay down, calm, breathe.
So this is some men that stare at goats type shit?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that.
but
you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Here's what's wild, though. I have a witness. It's my wife, so, credibility and whatnot. But
she's fine.
Look.
Ooh, she's fine.
I started.
That's not what I meant. Stop it.
Travis did good for himself. I'm just all saying.
I did.
Yes,
lucky
you did.
man.
Mm-hmm.
You got that on record, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Okay. All right. It's on record. Anyway, what
She's
the hell
gonna
are we talking
appreciate that.
about?
So I start listening to this guy, and he says, "All right, picture this picture that I have in my pocket. And think about it. What does it feel like? What does the place smell like? Where is it? Is it a desert? Is it a forest? Think. So, I start doing this, and he says, you have to learn to separate your thoughts from whatever comes to you. So I practice, and I got like basically gray stone. This is what I thought, and sure enough, it's this picture with standing stones, cliffside or whatever, and that blew my mind, freaked me out. So I keep practicing these, and Courtney would come in and she'd watch because they would do random pictures. So what's the next picture going to be? And so you sit there and you focus and see what you can get, and you write down things. The one that got me the most, though, was I kept seeing like these rectangular lines, not capped on the top, just basically parallel lines, but they were kind of uneven. And I couldn't figure out what it was. Maybe picket fence, so on and so forth. Couldn't figure it out. No.
Oh shit.
No.
I was like, did I figure it out?
This was crazy. Is he holds up the picture, and I'm looking at it. And I'm like, well, there's nothing on there that gives it. And he says, some of you might have gotten lines. And he said, and here's why. And so he puts it closer to the light, and it had been folded like an accordion. So there were these lines throughout the whole thing. And I'm like, no way. No, just no way. And I'm writing this stuff down prior, just so I can prove like this is what I'm thinking and this is what happened.
Okay, so what was in the water in Mamu, like for real?
Right.
Like what the fuck were y'all up to, dude?
Well, that's the thing, is that there's nothing there.
There's nothing.
Although the water in 8th grade one time, we had a chemist came over and tried to do a demonstration for us, and the water was too acidic for him to do the demonstration. So
I don't know if that's good or
there
bad.
was something in the water.
I don't
They did
know.
just redo the water system. So.
Oh, there you go.
I remember
That's
I bought
wild,
a-
by the way.
Oh yeah, no, it's
that's
listen,
wild.
It's,
Sorry,
it's
John.
crazy.
I
Go
bought a mobile home, and me, my best friend, and we got another some doofus that worked in the restaurant industry, and we were college roommates, right? I bought the mobile home. They paid me rent. I put that on the mortgage, whatever. Like that's how it worked. Thanks to my dad, hat tip to my dad, because I was just such a brilliant way to do it. Thankful I had enough credit that I could actually buy a mobile home at that age, and I was 2 years into college. I left community college and went to UL. I was able to do it, and they paid me rent and paid the mortgage. Such a brilliant thing. Then when we were done with college, I was able to go on and buy houses, and I had credit and everything. Great way to do it, but the that should be in a playbook, right? They should teach that in school.
Yeah.
How to do that. That should be something that's in high school. How to do
Yeah.
that. Thanks again for my dad, because I wouldn't be nearly where I'm at without him. But we had, I fucking kid you not, within the span of 2 weeks, I had this crazy fucking thing. I was dreaming one night, and then I woke up in the middle of the night, and I felt like something pinned me down to the bed, and I was sleeping on my stomach at the time. I guess it rolled over, and someone was screaming, the most high-pitched fucking loud screaming sound I've ever heard in my fucking life. Like, I thought my eardrums had bust and the blood was spewing everywhere. Like, it was so fun, and when it was sick at the same time, it was so sick, it churned my stomach. Like, I wanted to vomit everywhere.
Vomit.
Like...
Boy,
But
boy
like,
let it slip,
I'm
boy.
like, I'm serious. It was the most disgusting. It was the
Yeah.
most ear piercing and disgusting feeling I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
And I like, it was in the middle, and I woke up, and I got out of it, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. This, like, I just felt like an entity came over me and did that. And my roommate at the same time across the mobile home would had the same thing. He had this dream where he had slept, and some entity showed up at the foot of his bed, lifted him up. He was floating in the air, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. He had a DVD in the thing. He had fell asleep, but it was playing on loop. You know how the DVD players, they would do the same thing on loop in the menu? He was following the loop of the menu while it was going on, and it was still on loop, and he was like, dude, there's no way. He's like, something fucking happened. I don't know. This all happened within like the same 2 weeks, and that's when I decided I was going to start lucid dreaming. I had another dream during that period where, like I said, it was like the sickest fucking thing I've ever. A family member, I watched a family member of mine's head explode on a fucking sidewalk, and I was like, okay, I'm fucking done with this. Since then, I might have been early to mid 20s. I'm 37 now, I think. I'm old enough to think about it. I might have had 2 nightmares, I think, since then, where I wasn't able to realize that I was having a fucking dream and a nightmare and get out of it. I'm not, like, that's it. Like, that's it. I've gotten... I stopped doing the lucid dreaming thing. I don't do that anymore. I can if I really want to, and I try. It takes a few days to get back into it. But I really just kind of stopped. But I'm mostly just, I'm dreaming and I wake up. Like, it just, within 2 or 3 seconds, I don't dream anymore. I can't tell you about dreams that I've had for the last 10 years because as soon as I start dreaming, I wake up because I realize I'm dreaming. So I'll wake up 8 times during the night, whatever. And I always forget them because the dreams never got started. So I kind of ruined myself on that to some degree.